Damn, son, where'd you find this?
Let's go!
What is going on, faithful? What is going on? I am your boy, Niner Sickness, with the Niner Sickness Report. Good evening, good evening, good evening. How's everybody doing? I hope you're doing well. Kathy Sanchez, welcome. Lucky, welcome. Sorry that your Celtics are 0-2. But welcome, Lucky. How you doing, brother? Those that are coming in, welcome. We're going to be talking about Jeff Wilson Jr. And for many of you guys already know that he suffered a meniscus tear and will be out, unfortunately, 4 to 6 months for recovery. Now, we are in May, so we have June, July, August, September, 4 months. So he'll probably come in probably a little bit before the bye, or he'll be available after the bye. He will be missed. We heard that it happened after the practice. He sat down. When he got up, he heard a pop, and when he heard the pop, he couldn't stretch it out. He couldn't stretch his leg out, and therefore they came out with that it was a meniscus tear. So let's keep our prayers for Jeff Wilson Jr. that he recovers quickly, and we are able to get him back on the field. Now, with that said, aren't you glad that the Niners drafted 2 running backs in this year's draft? I mean, the Niners went ahead and drafted from Ohio State Buckeyes, Trey Sermon. Then they went ahead and that was in the 3rd round. They moved and traded to get that pick. And then in the 6th round, they took Elijah Mitchell out of Louisiana. So as much as we're going to miss the production of Wilson, I mean, he had 10 touchdowns and I think I forgot how many yards, but he was very productive for us in 2020. So we definitely will miss that production from Wilson, but having the reassurance that we have Trey Sermon on the Niners, plus we brought in that kid from New York. We brought the kid from New York and Wayne Gilman, and when I first heard about drafting 2 running backs, I was wondering, okay, what are the Niners going to do? Who are they going to put on the inactive list? I mean, who are they going who are they going to start? They can only bring in 4 running backs, right? And I'm thinking, okay, we have, at the time, before we heard about the injury, I was thinking, okay, it's going to be Raheem Mostert, Jeff Wilson Jr., it's going to be obviously the draft picks, Trey Sermon and Elijah Mitchell. So then I thought, well, they're going to have to cut that kid they picked up in the offseason from the Giants, Gilman. They're going to have to cut him. There's not enough room to keep him on the roster. But now that unfortunately the injury took place with Jeff Wilson Jr., we have the luxury of having all these backs. Also Hastings, that I did not mention, coming back from injury last year. But one of the things that I want to make sure that I pray that we need to stop this injury bug. I mean, the season hasn't started yet. OTA has just got on the way. Training camp hasn't even started. And yet we find ourselves hearing about an injury devastating like Wilson's. When is enough gonna be enough? When is enough gonna be enough when it comes to injuries? So, for those that don't know, Mike Garafolo yesterday wrote that Jeff Wilson recently underwent surgery to repair a torn meniscus. Sources say Wilson is expected to miss 4 to 6 months, which means he'll be sidelined through the start of the regular season. And that's tough because I like this young kid. I think Jeff Wilson Jr. being an undrafted player coming in was fighting for everything he had, was going to compete with already good running backs in the room. And now by getting hurt, listen, the NFL stands for not for long. And if Trey Sermon and Elijah Mitchell and Wayne Gallman, if they are productive, if they are very productive, if they're able to move the ball, if they're able to move that rock, I just don't see Wilson getting his job back. And Wilson is already in a 1-year contract. To me, he was on the bubble making the team in the 2020 offseason. And it's heartbreaking that this kid worked so hard to get where he's at, to make that much of an impact, and then he gets hurt like this. And the reality is, and welcome Brian, welcome David, by the way, and Arcito Chavera, welcome. If I mispronounced your name, I apologize. Welcome to the Niner Sickness Report. I'm not going to be long. I just wanted to come on here real quick, talk a little bit about the Jeff Wilson Jr. situation that we're facing already in the early stages of OTAs. It's tough. It's tough for the young kid. He works hard. He does what he does. And then he finds himself now on the outside looking in, because this injury opens the door for Trey Sermon, opens the door for Wayne Gallman, and opens the door for Elijah Mitchell. Now, in my mind, honestly, I really believe that drafting Trey Sermon and drafting Elijah Mitchell was potentially done to eventually replace Jeff Wilson Jr. and replace Raheem Mostert. Even though Raheem Mostert has been playing very good football for us, and he's been running that rock, he is up there in age. And I'm not saying we're going to get rid of him. I'm not saying, but I'm saying that the Niners were already looking ahead into replacing these two players with Sermon and Mitchell. Now that Wilson got hurt, he puts himself behind the 8 ball. So honestly, I don't see Wilson making this squad. They're going to put him in IR, but again, if Sermon plays very good this year, if Elijah Mitchell plays really good, if they get great production out of Wayne, our free agent signing running back from New York Giants, where does that leave Jeff Wilson Jr.? It leaves him outside looking in. Injuries are devastating. They are. Not only to the fan base, because we don't get to see our favorite players play, but they're devastating to players that are trying to make a team, players that are trying to make a name, and to be honest, players that are trying to get paid. Wilson really hasn't got paid yet. He's trying to get paid. And it's devastating when you injure yourself like this, and you have quarterbacks that are coming in that are young. That uphill battle for Wilson just got very high. So I don't know what the future holds for Jeff Wilson Jr. with the San Francisco 49ers. But in my opinion, it's going to be tough to get his place back on the depth chart on this Niners. I mean, Trey Sermon and Elijah Mitchell have to be like totally suck. They totally got to like really be bad running backs in order for Jeff Wilson, to be honest with you, to get his job back. Now, Trey Sermon is a lot like Jeff Wilson Jr. A lot of their play, it has a lot of similarity. They're both power runners. They're both big. So I foresee the Niners using Trey Sermon more in the packages that were intended to be used for Jeff Wilson Jr. this year. Give me a second, guys. Let me get this smaller. What's up, David? How you doing, brother? Hurt. I did that. I was doing a powerlifting. Okay. Yeah, bro. Meniscus is I believe if it's an ACL, it's up and down on the knee, but if it's a meniscus, it's left to right. And some of them, depending on the type of injury, it's a 3 to 4, 6, maybe 7 weeks. But they said in Jeff Wilson Jr.'s situation, it is a full blown meniscus tear. So it's going to require the 4 to 6 months. Now I'm not saying good, but the thing is, we are in May. We do have the depth in running back. So even though I will miss Jeff Wilson Jr. playing for the Niners, I still feel comfortable the horsepower that we have in our backfield. I feel comfortable about our running back room. I really do. Now, I haven't seen any production from none of the 3 running backs that we got yet, but I've seen what they can do in college, and I see what Wayne did in New York. So I am confident that they will be able to continue to move the rock with Raheem Mostert. And I feel that our running game is not going to be affected by the loss of Jeff Wilson Jr. Nothing to take away from him. Great running back, great human being. I pray that he heals quickly, but I still believe and I'm still confident in our running back room. What's up, Jeff? Aloha. Right on from the islands of Hawaii. Aloha, brother. So I expect a lot from Trey Sermon this year. I like this kid. I seen him play against my Clemson Tigers, and this kid ran all over Clemson Tigers. He ran all over Northwestern. The kid is special. He's a downhill runner. He's a good back. I foresee great things to come in the future with Sermon. But the kid that I like, and don't get me wrong, I'm not saying he's better, but the kid that I like is Elijah Mitchell out of Louisiana. I like him. I watched him play in college. I watched him not play in college while he was playing, because who really followed Louisiana? But once I knew we drafted him, I watched a lot of tape on him. And what I've seen is a kid that is fast. He's quick decision. He sees those holes very good. He's quick to make a decision. He hits the hole strong, and he's a burner too. He's a burner. He's a great pass catcher. He's a great pass catcher. So I'm excited to see what Elijah Mitchell brings to the table. I really am. I know we're going to see more of Trey Sermon, but I'm really looking forward myself as a Niner fan to see the impact that we're going to get from Elijah Mitchell. I'm excited. I don't know about you, but I'm excited. I cannot wait to see what he can do underneath Kyle Shanahan and that run game. With the offensive line that we have, with the addition of Alex Mack at center, drafting with the second overall, taking Aaron Banks, putting him at right guard. Mike McGlinchey gained about 20 to 25 pounds. So it's going to help him more in the pass protection. I really believe that our offensive line is going to be great. I really believe that our offensive line is going to be able to open up those run holes. And the creativity of Kyle Shanahan, the ability of Raheem Mostert, of Trey Sermon, of Wayne Gellman, goal line, punching it in. You have Hastings. You have Elijah Mitchell. It is going to be lethal in that backfield. My goodness, the excitement of this year football is going to be fun because of what the run game is going to provide. And I haven't even spoken about our receivers, our pass game. I'm focusing a lot on our running game. I've been hearing rumors of Julio Jones possibly coming to the Niners. Imagine if the Niners can make it work. Imagine if the Niners are able to conduct some type of trade that benefits the Niners and the Falcons are able to okay and accept. Imagine the possibilities of having Julio Jones as your number one, having Brandon Ayuk as your number two, and yes, our boy Deebo Samuel at number 3 in that slot. Putting him in that slot receiver will allow Deebo Samuel not to get that many touches, so he's not vulnerable to getting hurt more often. I think putting Deebo in the slot is more serviceable for him and for the team, especially if you have Brandon Ayuk and Julio Jones on the outside. And then I haven't even mentioned George Kittle down the middle. What kind of offense are we talking about? What's up, Jose? How you doing, brother? I'm a fan. I get excited. I get excited about my team. I know you get excited about your team. The fact that you're watching my live, which there's probably better lives out there, it just shows me that you love your team. You love your Niners. And you want to see your Niners be productive. You want to see your Niners be great. Then I'm also curious to see if and when, fingers crossed, that Jalen Hurd is finally able to show the 49ers and the 49er faithful that he wasn't a mistake and being taken. I cannot wait to see what Jalen Hurd can offer with that big body of his. Not only him, but then Jonah Jennings. He looks bigger, stronger than last year. Faster than last year. That's promising. And then Roberto Hastings says, what do you guys think about Richie James? Now, Richie James he's not going to be your typical third starting receiver. He is more plug and play. This is my opinion. He's more of a plug and play receiver that you can put in there. But I wouldn't be comfortable going into the season with Debo, Brandon Ayuk, and having Richie James as our third receiver. I don't know about you, but I wouldn't be comfortable with it. This is where we're going to miss Kendrick Bourne. I know a lot of you guys didn't like Kendrick Bourne. I know Kendrick Bourne was Mr. Butterfingers. He would drop balls all the time. But he was he was good. I want to say very, very good. But, he was good. He was productive. And he was able to move the chains. So we're going to definitely miss Kendrick Bourne. Not his drops. But we're going to miss his moving the chains type of play. But if we can get Julio Jones, Brandon Ayuk, and then move Deebo Samuel to the slot and make Deebo Samuel our third receiver, imagine the possibilities with Deebo Samuel as a slot receiver, Brandon Ayuk and Julio Jones on the outside, George Kittle down the middle, Raheem Mostert, Trey Sermon, Wayne Gillum, you have Hastings, you have Elijah Mitchell, you have the reamped offensive line, which I really believe the offensive line is going to be stronger and better than 2020. I really have faith this year on our offensive line. What I'm praying for is I just don't want, listen, we're already talking about an injury that took place to Jeff Wilson Jr. And this is only the early parts of the OTAs. And we're already talking about a 4 to 6 months recovery time. I don't know about you, but I'm tired. I'm truly tired of freaking injuries. I understand this is the NFL. I understand players get hurt. I understand. I'm not naive. I am not clueless. I played football. I understand there's injuries. But I'm talking about devastating, major ACLs, meniscus tears. I'm talking about those type of injuries. I'm not talking about the bruises. A bruise here, a bruise there. You're out for a week, you're out for 2 weeks, and then you're back. I'm okay with those type of injuries if we have to have them at all. But I'm tired of the ones that are 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 months type of injuries that I want to truly avoid. Yeah, I love my Niners. I know you do, Kathy. I know you do. Special teams. For special teams, are you referring to Richie James or Elijah Mitchell. What's up, Tom? Hey, Tom, I got to send your... I know I've been lagging, bro. I apologize. I've been lagging to send out those patches. Shame on me. Shame on me. But I'll be getting them out, brother. I completely apologize. I'm not even going to make an excuse. Other than just plain lazy. So my apologies, brother. KB, did I have a lot of drops, but he was also yes, I agree, Jose. KB had a lot of drops. He was inconsistent, but he also came through a lot. And he will be missed. Had the same injury I did mine in powerlifting show. Okay, so you messed up your meniscus lifting 500. Wow. Wow, brother. How long did it take you to recover, David? Okay. You're referring to, yeah, Roberto. You're another one you're another victim of mine. I apologize. I gotta get my, excuse my French, my shit together. I offer to give away free stuff, and I don't give them away when I need to give it away. So for that, my friends, I apologize. At this point, I'm not even going to make an excuse other than, yeah. I'll get it out, guys. My apologies. But yeah, man, I'm excited to see what do we have in our running back room. I'm excited to see Trey. I know a lot of us want to see Trey Lance this year, but I'm more excited I want to see Trey Sermon. I really do. I want to see the production that we get out of this kid. I want to see how he runs the ball for us. I think Trey Sermon is going to be a top running back for us. I really do. I'm looking forward on his production. I'm excited. I don't know about you guys, but man, preseason. We're going to have a lot of people might say, you're excited about preseason? What the hell? You want to be excited about... Of course, the regular season is ultimately the best. But we had nothing last year. Last year, we had no OTAs, no training camp, really, and no preseason. Imagine if Jimmy does play for the whole year. That means you're not going to see Trey Lance at all. If we didn't have no preseason games this year, the chances of you seeing Trey Lance in action are probably going to be very, very low. But the fact that we have 3 preseason games, and okay, before you guys say anything, I understand preseason games are not the same as regular games. But if you're a fan like me, you're still able to see Trey Lance throwing the ball. You're still going to see his decision making. You're still going to see if he throws high or low, if he runs, if he does bootlegs, if he does jet sweeps. You're still going to see what he's capable to bringing to the Niners for the future. So even though you're playing against second and third stringers in preseason, I'm still interested to see Trey Lance in action. That's just me. We know what we have in Jimmy. The good and the bad of Jimmy. We know what we have in Jimmy, good or bad. But we don't really know what we have in Trey Lance. We have our thoughts, our expectations of Trey Lance. We have our hopes that he's going to turn out to be great. But we don't know what to expect from Trey Lance. And I think that's what a lot of Niner fans are anxious. I don't think they really want to get rid of Jimmy, at least not this year. They're just anxious to see what we have in Trey Lance. But the guy that I want to be more curious about is Trey, but not Lance, but Trey Sermon. That's who I'm interested in watching and I'm rooting for. I really want him to have a great year. Now, Grant Cohn asked Jimmy about his injuries. And Jimmy spoke about his ankle feeling fine, but Grant Cohn mentioned that he had a brace on his knee. Now, anybody that's ever been hurt, okay? What the body wants to do and the mind are two different things. The body's capable of doing one thing, and what the mind does is a whole different, psychological. I wonder, Jimmy hasn't played since last year. He's confident. He's looking good. He's in practice. But I wonder if he gets hit or anybody gets close to his knee, psychologically, is that going to mess with Jimmy G? That's when mistakes start coming in. That's when he starts throwing interception. That's when he starts throwing the ball too high. When he feels that everything's coming close to him, he needs to get out of his own head. If he can do that, and it's easier said than done, but if he can do that, he'll be very productive this year as a 49er. But if he allows that mind block of his knee, we know his ankle is great, but he has more concern about his knee. And if somebody hits him in that knee, even though it doesn't hurt, but he gets that, oh my God, I don't want to get hurt. And if that lingers in his head, trust me, that can mess up with his mechanics. That can mess up with his accuracy. It can mess up in a lot of areas. So let's pray that Jimmy stays healthy, but not only physically, but mentally. He has to overcome the fear of re-hurting that knee. And he needs to make sure he doesn't hear footsteps. He doesn't see ghosts around his knee. Because that will be tough for Jimmy. Oops. What's up, Rob? How you doing, brother? Welcome. I was looking forward to seeing Jeff Wilson Jr. playing for us this year. And you will, possibly. But now I like to see Hasty play and Sermon. Now, in the beginning of my show, and I'll kind of recap a little bit quickly. Prior to drafting two running backs, we had Jeff Wilson Jr., we had Raheem Mostert, we have Hastings coming from an injury, and then in the offseason, we brought in Wayne Gallman, I believe his last name is. I'm probably butchering it, so I apologize. We brought him in as a free agent running back. I like his running. He's a Clemson Tiger guy, so I watch him when he was playing with I forgot his name, the one in the Houston. Deshaun Watson, when he was in college. Great runner. He did great with the Giants. So when they brought him in, I'm like, okay, all right. So we have Raheem Mostert, we have Jeff Wilson Jr., we have Hastings, and we have Wayne. 4 running backs. At that time, we had the other running back that we cut. He's now with the Jets. I forgot his name. So we have 5. And then the draft comes and goes, and we find out that the Niners did not only draft 1, but they drafted 2 running backs out of character. They don't normally do that. Kyle Shanahan does not normally do that. He likes to bring in undrafted free agents. But they drafted 2, not 1, but 2 running backs. So now you're talking about 7 running backs. Talk about a crowded backfield. So in my thoughts was, okay, you don't want to put Elijah Mitchell on the practice squad. Because if you cut him, because you got to cut him first to sign him on the practice squad. If we know anything, we know this. The freaking Seahawks is forever looking in our dumpster. The Seahawks are always looking in our dumpster. If we cut Elijah Mitchell to then sign him to the practice squad, I guarantee you that Seattle will swoop in and take him. So I'm like, man, I don't want to put him in. I don't want to take that chance. So who do we do? Do we cut Wayne Gilman? I think this kid Wayne is going to be good for us as well. But if we cut him to put him on the practice squad, same thing. Here comes the Seahawks and takes him. Because that's what they do. But now, and I don't want to sound like, man, that I'm happy about this injury, because I'm not. But now that this opportunity happened where Jeff Wilson Jr. is going to be injured, we're able to put him on the IR. I don't think nobody's going to take him they can't take him from the IR, so we're going to put him on the IR. This allows Wayne to stay on the roster. So now, our starting running backs will be Raheem, Trey Sermon, Wayne, and Elijah Mitchell. Now, Hastings, they're probably going to cut him and put him on the practice squad. They'll take a chance with him. Hopefully he doesn't go anywhere, but he is coming off an injury. So we'll have to wait on. But now we'll be able to keep Wayne. I like this kid Wayne. He was great in college. He had some issues with the Giants, but now he'll get his opportunity under Kyle Shanahan. And I expect him to be productive. A pop list? Okay. Thank you, David, for that correction. I appreciate it, brother. So he'll be going to the pop list. But by him going there, because of the injury, we will still be able to maintain and keep Wayne. I want to see what he can do underneath Kyle Shanahan. I like our backfield. I feel sorry for Wilson. I feel bad for Wilson. I can imagine what he's going through. I can imagine how frustrating it is to work so hard to get where he was, and then for an injury like this to occur, to set him back, it can be frustrating. But as a fan, I like our backfield. I really do. I like our offensive line. And I like Debo, and I like Brandon Ayuk. Now, me personally, on my show yesterday, I asked the question: Who do the faithful thought was going to have a better season, Brandon Ayuk or Debo Samuel? And the majority of the response was Debo Samuel, which I'm okay with that. That'll be great. But I personally think that the breakout year is going to belong to Brandon Ayuk. I think Brandon Ayuk is going to have a breakout year. I really do. This kid is special. He's smart, and I'm not downgrading or putting down Debo in any way, shape, or form. I love them both, but I just think, as a fan, that Brandon Ayuk is going to have a breakout year and get to close to that 1,000-yard receiving and have 8 or 9 touchdowns. I'm confident in Brandon Ayuk. I loved him from Arizona. I love his potential. I love what he brings to the table. Don't get me wrong. I love what Debo does too. I love them both, and I'm happy that they are both on the 49ers roster. But I just think that Brandon Ayuk will have a better year. What's up, Josh Blackwood? How you doing, brother? Good to see you. So, I feel bad for Jeff Wilson Jr. his injury. He'll miss 4 to 6 months. But we are in May, meaning that he'll probably miss, let's just, depending on his recovery, on how everything continues to go. If everything goes as planned, as well, his rehab goes well, we could see him probably after the bye to play it. I mean, there's no need to rush him back. With the type of backfield that we have, there's no need to really rush Wilson back to the field. Allow him to heal, allow him to get better, and then bring him in. I just don't see why we need to rush him back. What's up, Mark? How you doing, brother? Good to see you, man. Good to see you, Mark. Your birthday was on the 22nd. Well, happy belated birthday, brother. Happy belated birthday to Roberto Hastings, brother. So you are what now? 19? You're a youngster, right? But happy belated birthday, brother, to you. I wish and I hope that you had a great birthday on that day. I was wondering why I felt that the 22nd felt special. I was like, why is the 22nd feel good? Nah. But it was your birthday, bro. Good for you, man. You're 30. Wow. Like I said, you're a youngster. I'm way older than you. Anyway, happy belated birthday, bro. So, yep, I spoke a lot about the offense today. I may speak about the defense tomorrow. But I'm excited about our running game. I'm excited about our quarterback room. I'm excited about our offensive line. I love the addition of Alex Mack. I really, really, really do. Unless you played football or you really watch it, you don't realize how much important it really is to have that center that knows what the heck he's doing. And I'm looking forward on seeing him orchestrate that offensive line. He is the quarterback of the offense. Our running game is going to be like no other. We should be in the top 5 for sure in the run game. The Niners should be in the top 5 in the run game. We're going to score. We are going to score, ladies and gentlemen. As long as we don't have no injuries, as long as no injuries take place, I really expect the Niners to go far this year. I really expect the Niners to go far this year as long as no injuries takes place. I can't wait to see Nick Bosa back. I cannot wait to see Javon Kinlaw play better because of Nick Bosa. I am really high, and this is what I'll talk about tomorrow. I'm really, really high on Samson Ikebom, the kid that we signed from the Rams. I am truly, truly excited about him. What he's going to bring to that defense. And again, I'm just giving you a little bit of taste what we'll talk about tomorrow. But that defense is going to be scary. And I'm excited to see first-year defensive coordinator DeMeco Ryans to see how he is as a defensive coordinator. There's so much to be excited about this year. So much. Last year was so hard. I don't know about you, but I'm pretty sure it was the same for you. It was heartbreaking. I got to believe it was heartbreaking to watch football last year. With all the injuries. Watching Nick Mullins get plastered back there. It was tough. You, myself, and all the Niner faithful deserve a one healthy 2021 season. And this is what I'm looking for. Tanisha, how you doing, girl? Welcome to the show. Welcome. Good to see you. Run game is going to be nasty this year. I agree. It's going to be nasty. They're going to run the ball. They're going to kill the clock. It's going to be fun to watch. This offense is going to be fun to watch. I believe we upgraded in every position this offseason, and we're still not done yet. We're going to have one hell of a year. Hopefully leads to a championship. Brother, I'm with you, Jose. If we can stay healthy, listen, one of the weakest areas that we had was our quarterback. Our quarterback room was weak. Our offensive line was weak without the center that we have now. We took care of both of those needs. So I am with you. We have definitely upgraded in all of our positions, mainly the offensive line and the quarterback for our offense. 2021 will be fun to watch. What's up, Sir Domain Woods? What's up, brother? How you doing? Welcome to the Niner Sickness Report. Welcome, brother. Good to see you. Good to see you. Yeah, man. So I'm excited, guys. I really am. I know you are. OTAs come back tomorrow, Thursday. I'm enjoying the NBA Finals, or playoffs, I should say. Excuse me. Watching my Lakers play the Suns. So that kind of keeps me a little bit busy. But I love basketball, baseball, but nothing like football, man. I love football. So let's see what year we have. I'm expecting to have a great year. I'm expecting to have a amazing year. With the roster that we have, the coaching staff, the only enemy, the truly only enemy that I see that can hurt us is the injury bug. The injury bug is the only enemy that I can see that can really derail us from heading to where we want to go. Other than that, we are good. Niners for life, my brother. Also a dark, right on, brother. Lakers and Niners, baby. Now, if you're an Oakland Raiders fan, excuse me. God forgive me. Give me a second before I put this in my neck. What? Oakland A's fan. Jesus Christ. Let me wash my mouth out. How can I say that team? Oakland A's, not the other Vegas trash. Working on me. I love that. I love that. Armstead looks like he added muscle as well, playing inside more this year. His natural position, 7+ sacks. What I like about it, listen, I said this yesterday on my show. I really believe that Eric Armstead is a underrated. I'm gonna act like I did not see that there, Woods. The Fudgers. Nobody likes the Fudgers. Anyway, my wife, she's a big Giants fan, bro. So I gotta support the wifey with the Giants. Eric Armstead is a very underrated D lineman. Really is. Hard worker, great kid. Is he your all-star? Is he your Nick Bosa? No. But can he be productive day in and day out? Yes. Can he be counted on? Yes. Did he have a great year in 2020? No. Did he have a bad year? No. He was double teamed all year because of the injuries to Dee Ford and Nick Bosa and Solomon Thomas. I like Eric Armstead. Now that we have Nick Bosa returning, it's going to just elevate, and make better Eric Armstead. But this kid, and we'll talk about it more tomorrow, this kid that we brought in from the Rams, Samson Ikebom, if I'm pronouncing his name correctly, probably not. I believe it's going to be special. And I cannot wait to see what Chris Casseret can do with him. But we'll definitely talk about that tomorrow, guys. Today was more about the offense. Definitely. What's up, Matthew Navarro? How you doing, brother? Good to see you, man. Good to see you. Welcome. Hey, brother, I have a question. When I get the... Hey, brother, I have a question. When I get the Trey Sermon jersey... When you get the Trey Sermon jersey, I don't quite understand your question. It's more of a statement. Oh, okay, never mind. I'm tired and I'm not reading things correctly. Let me read it again. Hey, brother, I have a question. When can I get Trey Sermon? Okay, you're asking. That is a question. My apologies. Hit me up afterwards, bro. Send me a DM me afterwards, and we'll talk. And I'll definitely take care of you. And for those that don't know, I sell jerseys. So if you're looking for a jersey, whether it's NFL, NBA, baseball, basketball, I got it all. College football, I got it. I got you, man. So if you're interested in jerseys, hit me up. John Cannon, how you doing, brother? Good to see you, brother. What's up? Your jersey, I got your email. I just apologized to a few of the people here earlier about being damn lazy and sending out their patches. Well, you, my friend, I believe it's you. I have the name written down. If it ain't you, I'm not trying to get your hopes high. I'm sorry. But if it's you that won the jersey, and I'm going to be sending it out to you. I think it's you, John. But if it ain't you, I apologize. I talked to so many people, but I have the name written down. But if it is you, I haven't sent it out yet. I apologize, bro. But I did get your email. It will go out hopefully this week. Okay. Hoping for a speedy recovery for Jeff Wilson. Yes. What's up, Jay in the Bay? How you doing, brother? Me too, brother. Me too. What happened to your Niner equipment in the background? You noticed, huh? I was cleaning my my office, and so I washing the walls, cleaning my room. So I haven't put nothing back up yet, and I've been lazy after that. So I'll start putting things up. I'm trying to decide whether I want to change it around, maybe put different things up than the way we were before. So I'm kind of like, I'll keep it bare for a minute. We'll see what happens. But you noticed, you're the first one to notice, Matthew. I've done like 3 shows and nobody said anything. You're the first one. Very, very attentive, brother. John says, it's me, brother. I got you, brother. My apologies. I want a Steve Young jersey, 94 season. Right on, Rob. Hit me up. Send me an email to ninersickness@yahoo.com. ninersickness@yahoo.com. Give me your information there, your size that you want, and we'll go ahead. I'll go ahead and respond to that email. Once again, ninersickness@yahoo.com. Do you think our running room is still excellent without? Yes. The fact that we drafted Trey Sermon and Elijah Mitchell, Jay in the Bay, speaks volumes for that running back room. The addition of the free agent, Wayne, from the Giants that we brought this offseason also speaks volumes of that running back room. So as much as we're going to miss Jeff Wilson Jr., as much as I want him to quickly recover, and feel better and get better, we are okay in that backfield because, in my opinion, Trey Sermon is a better version of Jeff Wilson Jr. I said it. If you don't agree with me, I respect that. But yep, that's my opinion. What's up, Tony Smith? How you doing, brother? Good to see you guys. Yeah, man. So I'm excited about this off season. I'm excited that we moved from 12 to 3. We took Trey Lance. I'm super excited that we did not take Mac Jones. Wasn't that tough? Wasn't the whole month of March tough? It's like, I don't know about you, but you hear the news, okay, out of nowhere. Big trade. San Francisco 49ers trade with the Miami Dolphins. They trade 2 future number ones and a third to move from 12 to 3. Yeah, everybody gets excited. All 49, I got excited. Everybody's pumped up, fired up. Yeah, we moved to the 3rd spot. Then you start hearing all the freaking conversation about Mac Jones. Mac Jones. It's going to be Mac Jones. It's going to be Mac Jones. It's going to be Mac Jones. Mac Jones. And it's like, oh my God. I went from excited, fired up for the trade to, are we really going to take Mac Jones? I even started to try to ease the blow. I started to look at tape and Mac Jones said, you know what? Maybe we can win with Mac Jones to ease the blow. But the guy that I always wanted from day one, even before we traded to 3rd, was Trey Lance. I like him. The Bison. I wanted him. It was impossible at 12. I thought maybe he will fall to us. But then when we moved up to 3, our chances of getting him was more real. But then when I keep hearing this Mac Jones, freaking Crim Sims, and all the social media, Mac Jones. It was so hard. It was tough. I don't know about you guys, but it was tough. My friend, the Boston hater, told me, what do you worry about? Don't worry about the media. It's not going to be him. And he was right. But yet, it was hard to just sit there and say, nope, it's not going to be Mac Jones, when everybody and their mothers said it was Mac Jones. This is a true testament of how quiet the San Francisco organization keeps information from leaking out. It is a testament of John Lynch and Kyle Shanahan of how well they are running the ship in San Francisco. They had experts believing that it was going to be Mac Jones, to the point where these experts got so embarrassed that they tried to spin it as though it was going to be Mac Jones. But the Niners did not want us to be, they didn't want the media or they didn't want the fans to be all mad. So they made a haste decision and they took. If that was the case, they could have taken the kid from Ohio State, Justin Fields, right? If they just wanted a player, but Kyle Shanahan said from day one, he was infatuated with Trey Lance. So I love what the Niners are doing. I love what the organization is doing. I love the fact that they don't leak no information. I mean, nobody knew about the trade from 12 to 3 until it happened. Nobody knew we traded for Jimmy G until it happened. What John Lynch and Kyle Shanahan has done for that organization has been remarkable. Remember the Trent Baalke? Oh my God. Coach Chip Kelly knew he was going to get fired before he was actually fired. That's how bad things leaked out. He was going to coach in the last game of the year. Before the game, he found out that he was going to get fired. That was terrible, Trent Baalke. Now we have John Lynch and Kyle Shanahan. The pipes have been fixed. No leaks. With that said, ladies and gentlemen, it has been fun. It has been exciting to spend my Wednesday afternoon. I appreciate you guys, man. You guys are wonderful. Thank you for joining me on the Niner Sickness Report. I'll see you guys tomorrow. We'll talk about the defense, God's willing. But before I go, if you guys can keep, I don't know where you're viewing me from. I don't know what surrounding areas you're watching me from. But unfortunately today, in San Jose, California, where I was born and raised, for a company that I worked for, was forever changed today. A heinous act by a coward. And yes, I'm calling him a coward. We all have problems. We all have issues. Life isn't fair. But whenever you take it in your own hands to take other people's lives because your shit is not working, you are a coward. Please keep the family in prayer. For those that haven't heard, the VTA, which stands for Valley Team Transportation in Santa Clara, a gunman came in where I used to work and started firing his pistol. He killed 8 people and then he killed himself. But he took away 8 innocent lives. 8 family members are forever going to be changed because of this heinous act. I don't care if the company is not fair to you. I don't care if the company mistreats you. It doesn't give you the right to take another person's life because things are not going right for you. I'm sorry. So please pray for San Jose, California, the families affected, the employees infected. For those that saw the shooting, I know they're traumatized. A lot of my friends called and we talked and on Facebook, and it was devastating to see a heinous act from this coward going in there and killing 8 people. It's all over the news. If you haven't seen it, type it on YouTube, type it just VTA shooting, and you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. It's only about an hour away from me now. I was born and raised in San Jose. I've been in that building. I knew a lot of those people. It's a tragic day today. So I wanted to end this live with a prayer, a moment of silence for all those we lost today. And I'm referring to only the 8 victims. So if we can take a moment together and in a moment of silence with me. Thank you. Thank you for doing that with me. I love you all. Keep the families in prayer. You guys are wonderful. You guys are amazing. God bless you. God bless you. And God bless you. Until next time, we'll see you. Peace.